hottest station is now live for your enjoyment with host Iambranded.
Stephen Russell he's providing shelter for the ladies, and in most cases might be providing shelter for the guys too, who's ducking all kinds of relationship issues, and all most men got to do is probably turn on this song and we'll be okay again. So shout out to my man Stephen Russell of the multi-platinum recording group Troop, and his music, which of course you heard Aaron say it, but I'm pretty sure a lot of ladies saying it provided a lot of shelter tonight on Branded After Dark. What's up, big guy?
Hey, how you
What's
doing, man?
up?
How you guys doing?
Oh my God, how are you?
I am good, honey. Glad to be here. Glad to be
I'm glad
here.
to have you. I absolutely adore this song. Amongst the many, might I add.
Thank you.
I mean, let's just call it like it is. I mean, Stephen, you providing a lot of shelter for the ladies, and with just the way things are with relationships and all kinds of stuff nowadays, this is kind of like a proper song for this day and age of relationships, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm aiming for, man, is to bring some solitude back to relationships, man. We gotta bring some love back to it. Women are the same. Yesterday, today, and forever. They're gonna always need love and support and shelter. So that's what this is about. You know what I mean?
Well, this song, I mean, it's been shot at and hit. Thank you.
I'm glad.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, look, and Stephen, let me ask you this, because I mean, you're doing a lot of work right now. I mean, because Troop has a project on the horizon, and you have your solo project right here in people's faces. So, I mean, how are you still keeping busy and doing all the stuff that you're doing, man? You keeping a lot of music people out there really interested in just this whole grind that you got going on in 2014.
Well, my solo project is all a part of the Troop movement.
Absolutely.
It's just some more ear candy to bring people back to what Troop is known for. So, this solo project is just another extension of what we're getting ready to do with this new Troop project called The Return. Pretty excited about it, man. Ever since Troop has been on the scene or got our deal, I've been the one guy in the group who stayed in the studio the whole time. So I'm just still on my main grind, man. I chose music as my first and second career, first as an artist, second as a writer, producer behind the scenes. So, it's just what I love to do, man, is the music grind. It's just me.
And when you say writing, producer, behind the scenes, I mean, you've wrote and you produced a lot of hit songs for people like Keith Sweat, Chris Brown, Ruben Studdard, Tyrese, Fantasia, of course, LSG, Avant, Monica. I mean, I can go on. Donnell Jones, Charlie Wilson. I mean, with all this that you've done and that you've accomplished so far, and to me, I still feel like it's not just a legendary career, doing it for like 20 plus years, but also you continuing to still keep that passion going. So what makes you stay in the studio, like you said, and keep doing what you're doing?
I have grown children, man. I have children. I have a family to support, man. I have fans that miss a certain amount of music, a certain kind of music. When Troop left, there was a certain kind of R&B that left with it. So, I did my part, and I stayed on the charts the whole time that Troop's been away, singing background on Charlie Wilson and Chris Brown records and all these records, keeping that Troop sound alive, even though people didn't recognize that that's what it was. When you hear Take You Down and Why You Want to Change Me and those kind of songs, that's that same vocal from All I Do Is Think of You behind that stuff, just keeping it alive waiting for the opportunity for us to come back,
Has the balance been easy for you?
It's hard.
To keep it going?
Yes, it's hard, especially when, I choose to do a certain certain kind of job with my involvement. You know, I choose to be a part of the songs and the creativity. So it's just a lot of work and a lot of hours that come along with being the guy who wants to spend the quality time writing, spending the time mixing the records. You know, it's just a lot of time comes with the position I chose. You know, they say many are called, but only few are chosen. I choose to be one of those chosen ones, you know.
Oh, yes.
And let me ask you about just a lot that you have going on as far as solo projects. And, of course, you can follow this man on Twitter right now at Stephen Russell, Rusel. And, of course, his website is motelmusicmedia.com. And is it a little bit different as far as just creativity-wise, just doing a lot of solo stuff for yourself as opposed to, you know, just doing a lot of stuff with Troop in mind when you grouped up?
Well, for my solo project, the solo project came about with me writing so many songs for other people, like I said, Chris and Ruben and Charlie Wilson. You know, every time a project comes along, you might write 5 or 6 songs, and you might only get 2, maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 taken. So then you have these other songs, you know, that still have that essence that you had when you wrote it still attached to it. So, you know, I went through songs and I found songs that were really Steven songs that sound like something I would want to represent myself with, and that's how I put the record together.
Have you had certain songs that you've had that you've given, say like if you gave like 5 to Chris Brown, he gave you 3 back, and out of those 3, has there been a scenario or a situation where somebody that you work with kind of told you later on, man, I wish I would have kept that song, or man, I wish I would have, you know, I would have told you to, you know, give me that song or keep it to the side or something like that while they were going through whatever it was they were going through?
Yeah, I had a song called Got to Be that ended up on B2K, a #1 record for B2K, and I had let Gerald Levert heard that first because I was trying to get on LSG, and he passed on it the first time, and then when it came out on B2K and was the #1 record, that's exactly what he said, like, damn, I should have took that record, man. You know? So, and, you know, a lot of times, you know, I've come into where we would write a song for Tyrese, and, you know, he might, out of the ones that he don't take, you might end up with one on Charlie Wilson, one on Ruben Studdard, you know. It, you know, works like that stuff, or Tank, you know, or the TVT album. A good song always lands somewhere.
Right. Let me ask you this. Have you come across a situation, and how do you feel when it happens when certain artists may, I don't know, I guess sample music and not you know, get the original blessing from the artist or from the writer, and just go ahead and use it? I mean,
you know, once a song comes out, it's public domain. So, you know, you know, a person getting a song and deciding to remake it, it's something about that song that they love. So it's really hard to judge somebody's interpretation of something, you know. I just know that when I choose to take a remake or do a remake, I show a lot of respect to the person who came before me with the record. I don't try to overdo it or do something that they didn't do or add to it to try to make it better. I just try to do my version of what they did, you know.
Right,
so,
but do you take that step to be like, you know, hey, so-and-so, you know, this is, you know, and just at least let them know that this song meant so much to you that this is your interpretation. I mean, do you make that reach out first, or, you know, or do you think that it's right for an artist just to say, you know what, I love this song, I'm going to do it, I don't have to ask anybody, you know, I'm going to do what I want to do with it?
Well, I think, you know, we all as artists have our option. You know, if you have a relationship where you can reach out to somebody, you know, and tell them, hey, man, I would love your blessing on this because I love this song, that would be great. But most of the time, an artist is just expressing his artistry through great music. So, you know, it's to each his own in that category, you know, in that area. That, you know, you have some people that get the blessings from the original, and then you have some people that just do their thing with it, you know.
Interesting.
Got you. I got you. Steve Russell of Troop is our guest on Branded After Dark, and you know, you have Shelter, which is out and available. People can go ahead and grab it on iTunes. And is you know, for a lot of people out there that's listening right now, is the album out right now? It is out. It is out. It's on iTunes. People can go ahead and grab it right now, correct?
Yes, the album is So Random. It's available right now on iTunes. I need everybody to support, you know, this new R&B renaissance that's taking place. If you're tired of complaining about R&B, you can do something about it by going to get this Steve Russell So Random album.
Get it 5 times.
Get it 5 times. Tell your friends to get it 5 times.
And Steven, my thing is, like, and you're right, there's so many people like us, we do complain about it, and then when it's time for, you know, traditional, what I call traditional R&B music to rear its head by having people like yourself and others coming out with music, it really does take the nation of fans to be able to make the difference. If the complainers can't complain if they're not actually going to go support this traditional R&B music, right?
Yes, it's like complaining about your government, but you won't vote. You know, when a guy like me from a successful group like Troop comes along, you've loved the music in the past, you've had babies to it, you've made love to it. When I come with my new music, you're supposed to go and support that because I've helped you. You know what I mean? It's a great thing. You're supposed to support that music.
People still make love, right? They still have babies, right? It's I mean, you know, I'm just saying, it's we hey Steven, we ain't brand new like that no more. We still do the same thing we were doing 15, 20 years ago. We still do the same old, but you know, we just gotta rock the new music nowadays. I'm just saying, like, I mean, I know you had people high five you or shake your hand and be like, hey man, you helped out on this you know, little baby making session we had right here. So it ain't nothing new, right?
Yes, I get that a lot. And, you know, in order for music, in order for us to make a change, you have to bring certain music to the masses' attention. People have to wonder, dang, why are people loving this song Shelter? Let me listen to it. That's how you get people. That's how you blow it up, by everybody getting on it. If it's a great song, get on it. Get on the song. If you love it, get on it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's how we change it. That's how we change it. You know,
well, one thing
comes along, support it.
And one thing, Stephen, about now as opposed to, you know, when music was made back when you first started out was, you know, the record labels are different. It's ran a different way. It's actually giving you the time now to be your own boss, so you can go ahead and handle different marketing things about yourself now that you have control. So when you look at the industry nowadays and you look at fame versus legacy versus stardom versus pop culture versus tradition versus all this kind of stuff, like, I mean, how does this new age of just doing music business and doing music kind of you know, changes your does it change your writing style some, or how does it change you as an artist?
Well, it puts you in a position to get directly to the fans. See, when I came along, you needed the record company to reach the fans. You needed the record company to put you in the face of the people. Now you have the internet, so I can post my videos and promote my singles all day long. You know what I mean? I can push and push and push and push. You know, I can get online and tell everybody in Kansas that I'm on my way this Sunday. You know, it's just a total different game. Right. It allows you to market and promote yourself, you know, without the scrutiny of a label, without somebody telling you what's good, what's not. You know, it's a different game. That's why the industry is so affected, because now people are promoting themselves, man.
Gotcha.
But does it ever get, or is there any part of it that is scary for you because you know what I'm saying? You can be directly hit with somebody's opinion, you know what I mean? And, you know, you're right in front of everyone. Are there any negatives or downsides to that for you?
Not necessarily. If it's about promoting a product, it's not a negative. But,
hey, Steven, tell it. Hey, Steven, tell it like it is. Tell Aaron, nah, you know what? I make hits. Everybody love my music. What are you talking about?
You make
nothing but
hits. You don't make shit.
Hey, I wish it was like that. Hey, I wish it was like that. I wish people did love everything, man. But, you know, unfortunately, you know, as long as I've been writing the hit records, I still got to go in and do my best to write something that's pleasing that I think is going to be pleasing to the listener. I don't think it ever stops. You know what I mean?
Well, Shelter is very, you know, I don't know who couldn't relate to that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I know a million and one plus infinity women that are dying to hear somebody say those things and actually mean them. You know what I mean?
You know, yeah, man. We need all of those women to hear this song.
I know that's right. You better go get it 5 times.
or Steven, and in my case, are plenty of men that can't express themselves. All they got to do is put on Shelter by Stephen Russell of Troop, and that says everything that needs to be said. Sometimes we ain't got to say it. We can just put in that song. We're good. We're good.
No, don't take that. Don't take all that responsibility now. Don't make it that easy for the men.
Hey,
you can only do so much.
I say in the song, you can put it all on me.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
True.
Stephen Russell of Troop is our guest on Branded After Dark. And how do you look at this industry nowadays on the creative side? Like, you know, you write for so many different people with so many different personalities. How do you manage the new age personalities versus dealing with something maybe on a traditional side from when you first broke out or before?
Well, because creatively the magic is still the same. The same music gods that give you hits and give you melodies, they're still there once you are in a certain space of creativity, and that transcends time. Take you down, you know, here we are all alone in this room.
Oh, please don't do that to me.
That's like Ready for the World. You know, Ready for the World came before Truth, and I'm using it on Chris Brown in 2009. You know what I mean? So great music, great melodies transcend time. I just happen to be the kind of writer. I'm a student of this music business, so there's not too many songs that came before me that I'm not familiar with. So when I'm writing a song and I'm writing for Chris Brown or B2K or something like that, I'm trying to think in my head what song was amazing when I was young that made me feel a certain way, that made the women feel a certain way, because I'm saying, oh, that's what Chris needs. He needs something like that, you know, then that's how it comes. So you start going through the melodies in your head that you remember, and that's just how you conjure up hit songs, and that stuff transcends time, you know. And you got to keep fresh writers and fresh young producers around you, you know. I have adult children in the music business now, and they keep me fresh, you know.
Gotcha.
True.
Yeah.
Can you? Do you have to know the person that you're writing for personally, or can you write for, you know, and not have ever met the person and just know you know what they sing?
You know, I've done both. I'm able to do both. I've had success doing both, but I have to be honest. When I have a meeting with an artist and we spend that first session just talking about life, you know, and I'm taking notes about everything that they're saying, I'm writing everything down, it does give you a better insight to come back and write something that is expressive of this artist. But, you know, I've written songs, like I said, I've written songs for Charlie Wilson that end up on Ruben Studdard and were #1 for Ruben. So you don't have to write it. You don't have to write it for the artist per se. As long as it's a hit song and a great record, you know, that usually does the trick.
Who have you written for that you never had met? That you never met personally, that you wrote a hit for?
When you say never met, I mean, well, Jordan Sparks, when we did No Air, she recorded that song before I met her personally because one of my writing partners that I write with the Underdogs, he flew to New York to record her vocals, so I hadn't met her. Yeah, I hadn't met her personally when we had the No Air hit. So stuff like that, so many different scenarios. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say eventually you was gonna run, especially if they love what you wrote and they're gonna sing what you wrote. Then chances are you're probably gonna wind up crossing paths with that person in person eventually, right? It's gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna happen.
And I bet you after all these years, there's probably hardly nobody that you haven't run into yet.
Yeah, I've met everybody now. At this point, I've almost met everybody. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Stephen. I think, especially when it comes to music, because I've loved music. It seemed like since I was born, and I've appreciated music because I wasn't born when certain Jackson 5 songs came out or Beatles songs or certain songs, but I gravitated to it and appreciated because it gave me a sense of uniqueness with that person or group or something like that. And I think for the most part, Stephen, we've seen it all. That shock value of seeing Michael Jackson on MTV, I think that's kind of the certain things on the radio, the Motown 25 experience, what I'm saying? Mariah Carey when she came out with Vision of Love for the first time and everybody heard that voice for the first time. I think we've heard, we've seen, and we've experienced it. So when it comes to new artists when they come out, is it purely, you got to come honest with how you feel about not just your talent, but what you're singing and or talking about when it comes to this entertainment business now in order for you to win?
Well, now it's just a matter of how catchy your song is. It's about who you're clicked up with. It's about who's marketing and pushing the buttons on your record. I don't want to sound like an old school hater guy, so I'm not going to talk about the negative about the creativity that's going on because I think creativity is creativity, and I don't think anybody can really judge that. But quality of lyrics and quality of artists has strained the industry just because the quality of executive changed. When Berry Gordy and those guys, I know I'm reaching back, but when the foundation of our black music began, it began with guys who did music. Berry Gordy and his team of people were songwriters. They were not just people who like music, who know what's good, who like it when they hear it after somebody else creates it. They were actually creators. And, we have an industry of people now who just like music, and they're signing artists because they like it. And you take a little suffering, you take a little loss from that because there's only so many people like that are gonna win with it. Guys like Puffy, these guys and Maine Dupree, they're hands on. You'll be in the studio doing something, and Puffy would come and say, "Hey, try it to this." So he's hands on with the creative process. A lot of A&R guys are not like that. They only like stuff after they hear it. So It's a little, I don't know what to call that, but you take a little loss when you're not dealing with music people who have vision musically. You know what I mean?
Right. Because you're basically going off of one man's opinion, in a sense.
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Stephen, but, when it was time for, aside from harmonizing, when it was time for each one of you guys from Troop to come in, I mean, you guys for the most part stayed in the studio and showed that support and, hung in there with them. You guys didn't go out and, go home or, have dinner or go downstairs and, ignore the project while it was being birthed, right?
Well, no, honestly, man, I was hands-on from day one to day end, to be honest with you, man. I was a part of every video concept, every song. I was a part of everything, man. I took my walk in the music business as a college experience, you know what I mean? As a total educational experience. So me personally, I was involved from every aspect of Troop from the beginning to the end, the whole entire time. You know, I've spent my whole career, over 25 years now, in the studio recording and writing and developing artists and, you know, writing records. You know, I've done it the whole time until now. I mean, we're working on a new Troop album right now in 2014. Oh, and by the way, there's a new we just dropped the B-sides on Troop. It's available on iTunes right now. It's called Troop, the B-sides. Everybody go and check it out. We got a brand new record. What we're doing is we're releasing 2 compilations before we release the new album. So we just released the B-sides, and we got a bunch of songs from our different albums that people might not really remember. They wasn't the singles, and we add a new song to that. So that's released now. And the next album, the next compilation is called The Slow Songs, and we're going to have a brand new Troop recording on that as well. And then our unsung episode premieres June, July, and we're going to have the new album, The Return, which has 10 brand new songs. That's going to be available this summer. So it's exciting, man. We're getting ready to do some damage.
Awesome.
Hey, Steven, that sounds like a perfect marketing strategy with Unsung. Because I was going to ask you about Unsung. Because I mean, hey, come on, man. Pop your collar to that one, man. That's a good marketing strategy. Hey, Unsung being released, the album's coming out right afterwards too. So I mean, and to me, I think when it comes down to a lot of history, and one thing I love about Unsung too, by the way, is the fact that, you know, it tells a story that a lot of people may not have known about, not just the struggles of the group, but also some of the things that was going on that, you know, as music historians, we probably would love to know. Like, I mean, it doesn't have to be all drama-based, too. It's just a lot of music facts and a lot of the hard work you guys had to put in just to be able to get that going. So salute to you on that one, man. And again, good marketing strategy, bro. I'm proud of that.
Hey, you gotta use what you can in this day and age. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
You know, we're not signed to a major label. You know, all the Troop music is on the Motel Music Media. You know, we're our own label. We're our own team. So now, you know, we have to use our relationships, like Arsenio. You know, we're going to do the Arsenio Hall show. You know, he was one of our biggest supporters. So yeah, we're getting ready to make a full comeback. We just need our fans to come back with us, because Troop is not out to impress young, new fans. We are not trying to be stars and recreate a fantasy that we've already lived. We've already done that. We're just continuing on our career making great music, and we're making it for everybody. But we're not trying to get Chris Brown fans. We're not trying to become hot to Trey Songz fans. We want to be hot to our own fans. So but if you
accidentally grab some of those fan bases, though, it's all good too, though.
Come on in. Come on in. Have a seat.
Hey, Steven's providing shelter to those fans too. He's providing shelter to those fans too, though.
Yeah,
it's
because
all
these
good.
young ladies these young ladies need to know what shelter is, because these young guys ain't talking about shelter.
True that.
So this unsung episode is, you said June or July?
Mid-June, July, yes.
Okay, so that would mean you guys would be in Miami here to sing to me around when? When are you guys going on tour?
You know what I mean? 'Cause, you know, after the Unsung, we're definitely going to hit the road. You know, because when people,
I'm going to need you to do that ASAP.
When people see this episode, they're going to be blown away about the backstory. You know, we're very private bunch of guys. You just never know the story behind what it takes to be successful, and this is going to open people's eyes. You know, people are going to have a total different respect for Troop after this.
Right.
Amen to that. Stephen Russell's our guest on Branded After Dark. A couple of quick questions before we let you go. You can also follow Stephen Russell on Twitter at Stephen Russell, RUSEL, and he is also brought to you by MotelMusicMedia.com. And bookings, if you want to book this guy, you can go publicist at MatthewCent.com, right? That's where they can hit you. And make sure that if you want to book in your location, like Erin says she wants Troop or, well, notably Stephen Russell to sing to her personally, if y'all want Troop or Stephen Russell and whatever it is y'all want, make sure you go ahead and hit that email address, publicist@MatthewSent.com. And show that support, and make sure you go ahead and pick up the album, which is available right now, So Random. And I remember when I talked to John last, he was telling me about the Forever, the single off of the True project you guys have coming out. So do you guys have a timeline on it as far as not just the date, or is it just going to correlate with the Unsung release?
Well, honestly, I'm trying to have it correlate with the Unsung release, so after people watch that Unsung and they're wiping their tears, they can go right on the internet and buy the album. You know what I mean?
Damn, I heard that. That's heavy. That's heavy.
Yeah, I want it to be available right on time. And people can also follow me on Instagram at
I was
Steve
about to say that.
You can follow hit me on my fan page on Facebook at Steve Russell Harts, Stephen Russell Harts. I just recently found my father's and his family, my deceased father and his family, after 40 years of never knowing who my father was, and my last name is Harts, Harts. And this single Shelter is my first work under my father's name, Stephen Harts.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? Hey, God is good, man. I mean, like you said, no matter how long it's been gone, just to be able to find that other connection to that side of the family, so that's a beautiful thing, man.
Yes, it completed me as a person, yeah. I'm ready to fly to the moon now. I just need my fans to come along with me.
Oh,
hey, we down, man.
I know
down.
You got one of them. Hey.
I'm riding shotgun. Hey, Steven, I'm riding shotgun in that spaceship to the moon, bro. That's what it's all about.
You're gonna have a back seat because I'm gonna be shotgun. Thank you.
Hey, I know that's right.
There you go. So before we let you go, when as far as you're talking about just some of the fans, not just some of the established fans, the people that's been there with you for the very, very beginning, but also even some of the new people that's just that loves the history of Troop. When it's all said and done, are you comfortable with the legacy that you have left musically and continue to leave, not just for the current fans, but also fans 20 years, 30 years down the line?
I'm working on my way to being pleased with that. I have a lot of life left, and I have a lot of stuff to contribute still to music. But, if I was to die tonight, I would have to say that I put in as much work as I possibly could to leave a decent legacy for my children and the fans of R&B music, and to represent my ancestors well. I happen to come from a selection of great musical greats, from Gerald Levert, Babyface, Keith Sweat, Chucky Booker. I personally come from greats. So if I can make them proud, if I can get Babyface to hear a song like Shelter and say, hey, Steve is really doing his thing, then I'm doing my thing.
There you
go. That's what I want to do. I want to represent the people who paved the way for me. I want to represent them well as well.
Well, you know what? As far as your fan base here, this is just, I'm sure, the first of millions upon millions of people, who is not only supporting but actually going to iTunes to go purchase not just So Random, the future True music, but also keep the single, of course, and in general, just people that supports good traditional music that you could put in Shelter and 50 years from now somebody's gonna still listen to this thing. That's because it goes and it has meaning. So again, continue to do that, man. I'm proud of you, man. Not just as a solo artist and a group member of True, but also just spreading your legacy, man, and helping touch the other lives of other artists too, man. Because people should give the production part of you and the songwriter part of you credit, but as a fan, we got to make sure that we do that and hold you down and show that appreciation, though.
Hey, well, I really appreciate it, and tell all the fans, please go and support my new single. It's Stephen Harts, Harts. It's under my newfound last name. The single is Shelter under Stephen Harts. Please support it. The album is So Random under Stephen Russell. Please support that. I have a amazing duet with Candy from Escape on there. I have an amazing remake, Michael Jackson remake of Rock With You on there.
All right.
And make sure that you go and get the new Troop B-sides. It's out right now. We have an amazing, brand new, never heard before single on that album. You got to check it out. We need all the Troop fans to support it.
Definitely,
yes,
definitely.
As a fan, I love you. As a person, I love you. One thing that I've always admired about you as an artist is that you let people you let people in. You know, I mean, like go follow him on Instagram. He is out of control, hilarious. You know, you'll find out. You know how much of a family, how much you love your family. You're family oriented. You know, you let us in, and I love that about you.
Well,
so
thank
regardless
you.
of me being a fan, I love you as a human being.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. Sometimes I get criticized by my team sometimes for being such an open book, but you know, you can only be
you
who
are
you
out
are.
of control.
So.
I love you to death. So you tell them that next time, okay?
That's so awesome. Thank you. I love you too.
Hey, you're just providing shelter to the game. That's all. That's all. You know.
That's what I was put here to do, man.
There you
That's
go.
That's right, and I take it personally, so thank you.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, Mr. Stephen Russell Harts, you know what I'm saying? Hey, blessings to you, man. And you know, as far as California, I know Erin gave you some love out there where she's at in Florida, but, you know what I'm saying, we got to get you guys back, you too, get you guys back in general out here to the Bay Area in California. So, you know what I'm saying, the moment that's that, hey, you know I'll be there to help support you. Come on, man. I seen you guys perform out this way. It's been a long, long time, but you know what I'm saying, you guys yes, come on, man. You know, we can probably do another long segment and just talking about those moments too, man. Come on, man. You already know.
Oh, man. Come on,
hey, the
man.
Bay loves you guys out here, man. Looking forward to having you guys come out here in 2014. You know, it's summer's hot. You got to get Troop down here.
Yeah, man. You know,
but that'll be after MIA.
When you hear the conversations, when you hear people talking about who they want to come and perform, you know, let them know Troop is available. You know, we're back. We're back in motion.
Already on it, bro.
Awesome.
Already on it, man.
Awesome.
Blessings to you, man. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, guys. I love you guys. And, you know, I would love to come back and talk about some other stuff, some other topics, man. Just let me know. I would love to come back.
Come on, man. You know, you can kick it on our couch anytime, man. You can come hang out. Put your feet up, man. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, take off your shoes.
I got a bedroom up in here, so we you know, hey.
Hey, what I could do is I could give you guys an exclusive on when we get ready to drop the single for the Return album, the Troop Return album. I'll give you guys the first exclusive on that.
You know it, man. You know it. And you know your team is always right here too, and it's just, man, come on, man. All you got to do is say, "Hey, I want to come back. I got this new song," and, you know, we going to party like it's, you know what I'm saying, not 1999 because it's kind of past already, but, you know, we going to party like it's 2020. We going to party like it's 2020, man. That's how we do.
True.
That's it.
That's right, man. I appreciate you guys, man.
Hey, same here, man. I'll definitely be in contact with you, man, and definitely we're gonna have you at least around 2 or 3 or 4 different times before July, you know what I'm saying? So we got you right here, bro.
Beautiful, man. Hey, man, and if you can, spin that record. Let them hear Shelter, bro. Let them hear the new shit.
He doesn't have no choice.
We're about to run it right now.
When it comes to that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, not only is it a nice project right here by my man Stephen Russell Harts, but, you know what I'm saying, this is a new theme music for Branded After Dark. So, you know, right here, Shelter. Appreciate the love, bro.
Hey, thank you so much, man.
Thank you for listening to the #1 radio station for the people.
Nexxlegacy Radio.